Greetings and salutations. They say writers are like gremlins. You shouldn't wait to feed them until midnight. A hungry writer only creates bad ideas, and those bad ideas have a way of multiplying. Here at Writer's Bagel Basket, we dive headfirst into the good, the bad, and the... well, at least they tried. What can we say? A good bagel has a lot of variety. Every month, we have a different theme. Themes like Baby Don't Hurt Me Month. We are kicking off Garden Variety Shocktober. We are in Not Your Average Saturday Morning. Then me and a guest curate the movies or TV episodes that fit that particular theme. One kid said Augustus Gloop's mom.
No way.
What?
The only people who were actually a couple at the time in the realm of Saved by the Bell was Jesse and Slater.
Yes.
They're on vacation together.
Yes, they are.
They're banging, right?
Obviously.
Yeah, right?
Obviously.
Yeah. Join me, Scott Curlin. Strap in and grab yourself a bagel. Nope, not that one. That's my bagel. You'll join us in the basket, the Writer's Bagel Basket. Be cool, Daddy-O. 'Cause hell is a musical, hell is a musical. Musical hell. Stuck with Travolta and other people that you hate, but you have to do it anyway. Stuck in musical hell. With Lilz and Scott.
Singing in the rain, just singing in the rain. What a glorious feeling, we're happy again. We'll walk down the lane with a happy refrain and singing, just singing in the rain.
Hello and welcome to Hell is a Musical, where the road to hell is paved with choreographed and razzmatazz intentions. I'm Scott.
And I'm Lilz.
You got awfully quiet.
I have to be. My partner is asleep in the next room.
So, Lily Pad.
Quiet like a silent film, which is what this film is kind of sort of about in a roundabout way.
Waka waka.
So, Lils, what are we talking about?
I know how to do segues. We're doing the 1952 American musical romantic comedy film, Singin' in the Rain.
Yes, Singing in the Rain is my favorite movie musical of all time.
You did it again.
Did what? We're not recording a second time.
I'm going to hold you to it this entire podcast every time you say singing.
Singing.
Just so you know.
Okay, so I had to take acting classes as a kid, and they forced us to say the INGs. So, yeah, like...
So that's just sort of ingrained into your... just sort of as a default into your brain?
Yeah, let's not be dicks.
It's too bad you talk so good.
And that voice right there is our guest. She is a actress. She is a singer. She is a voiceover actor. She is a model. She has been one of my favorite people and one of my closest friends since I was in college. It is Miss Lara Fox.
Hello. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for being here. Why did I just go into Bob's Burgers? Thank you for having me. Thank you for being here. The whole world's
Mommy
thanking.
doesn't drink. Mommy doesn't drink. She just has fun.
Probably.
Hey, Bob. So, what is this was your first time seeing Singing in the Rain, right, Lils?
It was. I was familiar with it, largely just because of like reading about it and its importance as a its importance as a piece of film. Weirdly enough, I took a American musicals class in college because had to get those credits in, and this was not one of the movies that was watched. Interestingly enough,
Wow.
That's weird.
feels like it should have been like an obvious choice. In
Laura,
retrospect.
what's your history with this?
I had seen it many years ago, and I guess in rewatching it, I didn't realize how many, well, basically every song in it is from another musical.
Yeah, spoilers, Lils. This is technically a jukebox musical.
Yeah.
I mean, is it though?
Yes,
Yes, it is.
it
Actually.
is.
Yeah.
It most definitely is.
And they didn't they write it specifically to use all this like catalog of songs?
Yes. So technically, it's not a jukebox musical, it's a phonograph musical because it was like the 1950s.
Right.
I have no established opinion on phonograph musicals.
There's only 2 songs that were written for this, and it's my 2 favorite songs. Moses Supposes was written for this movie, and Make 'Em Laugh was written for this movie.
Yeah, I read on Wikipedia that was a takeoff on a Cole Porter song.
Yes.
Right.
So my history with this musical is, as a kid, I wasn't originally allowed to watch this because my mom hates the song Singin' Better in the Rain because of Clockwork Orange. So my Nana Pearl, one day when she was babysitting us when we were visiting her in Albany, New York, she was watching us and she's like, "Scotty, you need to watch Singin' in the Rain." And it was on the TV and she's like, "That's Gene Kelly. He was a monster to Debbie Reynolds."
Yeah. My friend told me the same thing. I was shocked to hear that.
Yeah, Gene Kelly was a super dick to Debbie Reynolds, who was 19 years old when she made this movie. This was her first movie.
Right.
Woof.
And her background was as a gymnast, not a dancer.
Right.
How old would Gene Kelly have been by this point?
Probably 35, 40.
Yeah. That's,
Not great.
Yeah,
it's not-
so
it's not.
he didn't want to keep yelling at her because she got so miserable that she hid underneath a baby grand piano, and Fred Astaire, who was visiting the set, came in and was like, "Oh, it's okay, sweetheart. Don't be worried about Gene. Genie boy is just, all bark and no bite." And then he taught her how to dance.
And then Gene Kelly bit her.
So because Gene Kelly didn't want to keep taking it out on her, he then told Donald O'Connor that, "Listen, I'm going to take it out on you. Every time she pisses me off, I'm going to start yelling at you and screaming at you because you can take it."
Like a whipping boy.
Yeah, he became the
Gee,
whipping.
that makes him feel so much better.
Yeah, what a healthy redirect.
"God damn it, Donald, you and your, pink skirt, almost like a bathing suit thing, and your diver's cap hat when you're jumping out of the cake. You're doing it wrong, Donald."
You know how you swim in cakes. Wow.
Why can't you jump out of the cake good? Why can't you be good?
The other insane stuff that happened on this movie is during the Good Morning dance scene,
Yeah.
Gene Kelly forced Debbie Reynolds to dance so much that the blood vessels in her feet popped, and she had to basically be carried off the stage. And he's
Jesus.
like, "I'm not gonna make her do that again."
Oh, that's awful.
And he's like, years later, when he was making Xanadu, he was doing an interview, and he's like, Singing in the Rain was one of my favorite movie musicals that I did. But I was a monster to everyone. It's shocking that I'm still friends with Donald O'Connor and Debbie Reynolds after the way I treated them."
And did you both see this
Yeah, no
quote
kidding.
that Debbie Reynolds said that the 2 hardest things she ever did in life were give birth and work on Singing in the Rain?
Yeah.
Woof.
Yeah.
But she gave
Yikes.
birth to Princess Leia.
That is true.
So, what is Singin' in the Rain about, Laura?
Oh, to me, it's like how entertainment evolves through time. I mean, there's so many shows within the show, right? And so they're in the 50s and talking about the 20s, right?
Yeah, 1927.
And even when they're in the 20s, they're looking further back at vaudeville, and we get to see how entertainment progresses and changes, and what that means for people's careers, from vaudeville to silent movies, right, to talkies, to these movie musicals, to like the glamorous Hollywood, golden era stuff. And I don't know, it's kind of like head spinning all the different genres that they and time periods, decades that they cram into this one movie.
Yeah. I also love the old Hollywood studio set because back in the day, that's how a studio worked. You would literally like walk past everything, and there'd be like a sports movie in one stage, and then a action movie in another.
Yeah, it looks like theater sets, like they were basically filming theater.
Yeah.
During that specific like part in the film, that specific scene where they're just walking by all the sets, like the moment they walked by a set where like people were just white people in blackface cannibal makeup, that's when I had to go like, oh right, this was made in the 50s.
Well,
Oh,
yeah.
boy.
Also, remember
Not
the
great.
biggest movie, the movie that caused them to want to make talkies was The Jazz Singer.
Yep.
Right.
Also not great.
That doesn't age well, but I got a text from you, Lilypad, saying that. What did you say?
I believe what I said, Scott, is that this movie has no business being as funny as it is, while also being from the 1950s.
So does that mean you like this?
I think I kind of like this.
Yeah.
I
Yep.
mean, like, I had a feeling that I would, if only because of all the hype that I heard around it. Like, I just sort of went into this thinking, like, there's probably a reason why, like, AFI named it, like, one of the funniest films of all time multiple times during one of their little lists.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the two things that came out in that list. So Debbie Reynolds and Rita
I'm just
Moreno.
but I'm just also taking the moment to acknowledge that there are definitely some things in this movie that have not aged great.
Yeah. But in that AFI list, when they were doing 100 years of 100 musicals, Debbie Reynolds was interviewed, and so was Rita Moreno. And the two things that came out were, I love this movie, but Gene Kelly was a dick.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the things that I take from this movie is, kids, Gene Kelly is a dick, and oh yeah, by the way, Santa Claus isn't real. These are all truths.
Mm-hmm.
Spoilers.
Yeah, you remember all those tawdry Hollywood stories about what a dick Gene Kelly was to Jerry the Mouse.
Oh man, I want to see that now. Did I do well, Mr. Kelly? Fuck you, little mouse. Fuck you. God damn it.
You're not even tangible.
Debbie Reynolds, when she did the dance moves, bursted all the blood vessels. Did you? Get the dip out.
Of course you don't. You don't have blood.
Now I just picture like Christopher Lloyd from Roger Rabbit coming in with a dip and just throwing Jerry Mouse in there.
This took a
Where's
dark
the
turn.
cat? So the thing that I love about this movie is that right away it lets you know that Gene Kelly is a fucking liar.
Oh yeah, when he makes that, he lies about his entire childhood, and we get that whole montage.
I went to the finest schools, and he's in a pool hall picking up pennies.
Right. He's basically getting kicked out of every venue for for dancing, for singing, for playing instruments. He's like getting kicked out left and right.
Yeah, and I love the fact that when they're introducing everyone, they're like, look who it is. It's this person. And then they go, look who it is. It's Zelda Zanders in confirmed Bachelor. We all know what that meant back then.
Right.
Also, during that point, they introduce Donald O'Connor's character. Look, it's Cosmo Brown. To complete silence.
Mm-hmm.
So
That was very good.
So if I ever got to be in a production of Singin' in the Rain, I want to play Cosmo Brown. Cosmo Brown is my favorite character in any musical.
Why?
Because he has... The reason why everything goes so well is because of Cosmo. He has the idea to lip sync. He has the idea to turn it into a musical. He is the one who has the idea to reveal Lena as a fraud on the stage. It's him every single time. Gene Kelly doesn't do shit. Do you think
I mean,
that's
that's
why
not
Gene Kelly
totally-
was yelling at Donald O'Connor the entire time?
I mean, that's not entirely true. He did spend a lot of time, as, that flashback indicated, driving cars and planes into buildings.
Oh yeah, he
And
did
off
all
of
the
cliffs.
stunts. Right, he did the stunts. Yeah.
Because originally this wasn't written as a musical. This was written as basically what The Artist was. It was supposed to be about a Western actor who was in like silent films and he couldn't transition into talkies. And then they're like, let's make it a musical. Gene Kelly's around. He'll be a shit to everyone. And Gene Kelly's like, can I direct it? And they're like, yeah, sure, why not?
So in a way, this movie was kind of a self-fulfilling prophecy.
Yeah, a
Because
little bit.
that's also a major plot point of this film.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Did anyone else read up what happened to Donald O'Connor making this movie?
I read that during the one sequence that probably is the most famous for the Make 'em Laugh sequence. He apparently after the take for the film, he was like bedridden for several days because he was so exhausted.
It wasn't
from
because
smoking.
he was smoking 4 packs a day.
Oh yeah, I'm sure that contributed to it.
And then they lost the footage. The film got ruined.
Oh God.
So they're like, hey, Donald, guess what? You gotta do it again. And he's like, great. Kill me.
I mean, the athleticism is really so impressive because the dance is incredible. Like this, is a dance musical and the choreography is great, but he does so much like physical comedy, with the flipping and the falling and the just like, pratfalls, I guess, right?
Yeah.
And stunts
property
himself.
damage.
Yes.
The one thing that I always remember about Make 'em Laugh is when Joseph Gordon-Levitt hosted SNL, instead of doing a monologue, he did a little monologue, and then for the rest of it, he's like, I'm going to do Make 'em Laugh from Singin' in the Rain, and everyone's like, what the fuck is this?
Please don't.
Like, that's what everyone was talking about the next day. They're like, yeah, Joseph Gordon-Levitt hosted SNL. He did Make 'em Laugh, and he only did it so that he could do the flips up the wall.
Oh.
But he wasn't
he
very
was
good at it.
You think he was upset that he didn't get to break through drywall?
Yeah, probably. Maybe it's because there were only 499 days of summer and not 500 for him.
Topical.
That's why he was hosting an SNL, was because of 500 days of summer.
All right.
Yeah.
And on the topic of the dancing, I mean, yes, obviously we're going to say this over and over again. Gene Kelly is a colossal asshole. That's been well documented. But having only heard about Gene Kelly, read about Gene Kelly, finally seeing Gene Kelly in a thing and all the dances that he choreographed, I mean, goddamn, the dances in this movie are just phenomenal.
Yeah, he's amazing. He's a fantastic dancer. It also inspired Dick Van Dyke because Dick Van Dyke saw, all of the choreography that Gene Kelly was doing. So for Mary Poppins, Dick Van Dyke was the one who choreographed Step in Time and the Penguin Dance, or Jolly Holiday, Mary Poppins. Gene Kelly had this effect on people.
Yeah.
And then so many years later, Lin-Manuel Miranda turned it into BMX.
Oh, that's right. I totally forgot we did Mary Poppins Returns before we did Mary Poppins on this podcast.
Whoops.
Ay, ay, ay. On penny farthings, right?
I mean, that would have been more interesting.
I mean, in this film, we haven't even talked about Jean Hagen as Lena Lamont.
I was just going to say, I was actually surprised. I didn't know much about her prior to this film, and a lot of the articles that I read about Singin' in the Rain really focused on her and what a legend and genius she was. And I was like, oh, I had no idea about her, previous work and stuff.
yeah, of all the actors in this movie, she's the only one to get nominated for an Oscar for this film.
Right.
I mean, there's a good reason for that. Her comedic timing in this film is just friggin' great.
No, it is, but I'm shocked that Donald O'Connor wasn't nominated.
Didn't he? I thought he was not nominated for an Emmy or something. He was nominated for something else.
He wasn't nominated for an Oscar. He was nominated for a BAFTA.
A BAFTA?
And a Golden Globe.
And
he won a
Globe.
Golden Globe. He won a Golden Globe, actually,
Yeah.
it looks like.
Okay,
Yeah.
good.
But Jean Hagen was also, her voice, her real voice is used in this movie.
That's right. Oh, yes. It's like she is dubbing for Kathy, who is dubbing for her.
Yeah, she's
dubbing herself.
Debbie Reynolds, who is dubbing her.
Right. Yeah.
But I was telling both of you before we started recording that The Simpsons stole a lot from Singin' in the Rain. I'm now scared to say the G because I don't want to get yelled at by
Yeah.
Lilz.
Don't do it.
I have been at a perfect room volume this entire time. I almost said
you
room
have to be.
I almost said room temperature volume, and I'm not sure what that would have meant.
Medium rare.
97 degrees? Exactly.
I have been speaking at a perfectly tepid volume this entire time.
Yes.
Yeah,
very
on
soothing.
mic, but you're just giving me death glares. You're just like, don't you do it. Don't you do it. But yeah, so The Simpsons stole, they didn't steal, but they paid a homage in the Radioactive Man movie. Up and at them. Up and at 'em. Up and at them. Up and at them.
A lot of the dance moves were definitely like just sort of taken for various Simpsons stuff too. Like I immediately, once I think it was during Make 'Em Laugh when Cosmo did like the sort of thing where he just sort of runs around in a circle on the ground.
Yep. That's Homer
that.
when he wins the whatchamacallit,
When he gets the dental plan back.
the dental plan. Yeah. But
Smithers, I don't think this man was a genius after all.
But back to the Radioactive Man movie, the whole diction coach was based on the whole Lena, I can't stand him. I can't stand him. I can't. Better.
Stan him!
Yeah. The fact that like we underestimate her, we think that honestly, Lena is the smartest person in this movie, and
Oh, yeah. I mean, she ends up really carrying out a lot of manipulation.
oh yeah.
Maybe because she's underestimated. I don't know.
I don't know, but she gets scary. She gets like really scary, like Willem Dafoe scary.
You know, I feel like it's she realizes that she's losing Dawn, Gene Kelly, to Kathy, Debbie Reynolds, and she's about to lose her career. You know what I mean? And so she's like, "Well, I'm gonna fight to the death."
I know. And Debbie Reynolds
Yeah,
is so
under those-
adorable in this movie.
Mm-hmm.
You were saying, Lils?
I was just going to chime in. Under those circumstances, it's kind of hard to blame Lena Lamont for that.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I still love how she gets the pie right in the face, and her solution to this is, well, I'm going to use my power to get someone fired.
Right.
And I love the look on Debbie Reynolds' face when she pops out of the cake and she's all happy. Then she sees Gene Kelly and she's like, oh, fuck, not you again.
That was hilarious.
Oh, man. So I'm guessing because your birthday is coming up, Lils, you're going to want me to jump out of a cake?
I didn't say that.
You don't want me to do that choreographed number?
But now that you brought it up...
It's also my birthday in December, and I would like that.
Yes, give us both the gift of you jumping out of a cake and doing that same routine with all those flappers that appeared to have Pip-Boys on their wrists.
Yes.
All I could think of is...
That's a Fallout 3 joke.
All I could think of is watching this back when we did Love Never Dies. the song that they're singing reminded me of the Bathing Beauty song.
I can see that.
Yeah. And I'm like, oh man, poor Kathy. And then I was like, why am I calling Debbie Reynolds Kathy? Like I couldn't displace Debbie Reynolds from Kathy in this movie because I know like how awful she was being treated.
Mm-hmm.
And the scene at the end of the movie when Gene Kelly is yelling at her like, you gotta go on the mic and sing. It's in your contract. I'm like, is that him as Don Lockwood doing a bit, or is this Gene Kelly being Gene Kelly?
Right.
Lilz, is the tagline for this episode going to be Gene Kelly was a dick and Santa doesn't exist?
I think it might be. But you know, we never know.
Yeah, everything that I know about like Debbie Reynolds just shows how strong she is, because she's like, years later, she's like, know what? He was right to yell at me. I was a young 19-year-old girl who didn't know what she was doing, and he was disciplined. I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
Yeah. That's...
And Donald Connor was like, I still fucking hate him.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
you can just acknowledge that he was being a piece of shit in that moment. There's nothing wrong with that.
No. It's my fault. I was Debbie Reynolds. Debbie, no.
What? Why, Debbie? Why?
Well, you know, I didn't know how to dance. I was a gymnast.
Right, but the studio, decided that she was right for the film, so it's not her fault.
Gene Kelly was the one who handpicked her.
Yeah, so there you go.
The craziest thing about this movie is that Rita Moreno's in it, and she doesn't even dance.
Oh, yeah. Wasn't she supposed to have a song that got cut, actually?
She was supposed to be the Sid Charisse role.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Wow. I didn't even know Rita Moreno was in this.
Yeah, she plays Zelda Zanders. The names in this movie are wonderful.
Yeah.
Zelda Zanders, Don Lockwood, Cosmo Brown, Kathy Selden, and Lena Lamont. Just... Mm-hmm. Oh, and R.F. Simpson. Just perfect.
Right.
And I created a fake name for the guy who's singing Beautiful Girls.
What's his name, Scott?
Confirmed Bachelor, Dink Tinkler. Okay, that might be the tagline. Confirmed Bachelor, Dink Tinkler.
Yeah, that sounds pretty good.
Classic.
Because I just love how he shows up, and he you know that like the news articles like Hedda Hopper is like, oh, the latest Beautiful Girls movie with confirmed Bachelor Dink Tinkler. Beautiful girls.
He's just eccentric.
Me and these beautiful girls. No hanky panky because I got stuff to do. Not talking about it. It's the 50s. Me and Liberace hanging out. Nothing weird. We're in Las Vegas now. With these beautiful girls. I don't know why I'm doing the shimmy. I'm doing a shoulder shimmy, which thank God I'm wearing a black shirt on a black background, so you can't really see it. But
now we know in our hearts.
Yeah.
Actually, I am going to segue back into the dance because of your shimmy. Another thing I really did like about this movie is how they used so many different styles of dance. Like, yes, there was a lot of tap, but there was also modern and just the difference between like the giant showy numbers that were full of tricks and, were very flashy. But then you also had like these really intimate dances like that showed Gene's relationship, with Kathy. Like that was a very romantic feeling, like the ballad version of a dance, an adagio, I guess.
Yeah.
And
I know
that
that's
Sid Charisse thing. I was like, okay, dream ballet. Like,
well, back then, like Carousel and like Oklahoma had like, I guess you want to call them smoky murder dance numbers.
Yeah.
Everyone looked like they were gonna get murdered. It's like, because I love when Gene Kelly is like, here, I'm gonna take you to the secret room and put on this fog machine. Don't worry, it's gonna be a sexy dance. I'm totally not gonna hit you with the sandbag till you die, dumb, stupid Debbie Reynolds.
Oh my God.
He seems nice.
Yeah, right. What could go wrong?
I just picture Donald O'Connor like, hey, where are you going with that sandbag, Gene? You fucking stay out of this. You jumping out of the cake all wrong. Okay, sorry, sir. Yeah, the other thing that happened when making this movie is Sid Charisse didn't smoke. She didn't like smoking. She didn't know how to smoke. And she's like, so this is what's going to happen. You get one take of me with the cigarette, and that's about it.
Oh, yeah. Good for her.
Yeah. And
Yeah, that's taking a stand.
yeah.
Right.
But then she got sick, and she was like throwing up for the rest of the movie.
Oh, that
Well,
sucks.
right. And Cosmo was in the hospital, so
And all of Debbie Reynolds' feet blood vessels burst.
exploding feet, exploding lungs.
Man.
Oh, and then
These-
Gene
these
Kelly.
These are the kind of symptoms that you're sure never to find at Laramie Cigarettes. Always smooth and tasty.
Laramie cigarettes. Donald O'Connor's on 4 packs a day.
Beautiful cigarettes. Oh, but wait. Oh, right. And then that reminded me, when Gene Kelly was performing Singin' in the Rain, like the actual number, he was super sick. He had like the flu. He had 103-degree fever, right?
Yeah, because they shot it over 3 days. Because they kept trying to shoot it at night, and they're like, why is the water pressure so shitty? And they realized that where the grid that they were on for the water tanks was on the same grid as like this neighborhood suburb where all these like people were watering their lawns. So they're like, okay, we'll shoot it in the morning when everyone's at work.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, during that whole sequence, it was very hard for me to separate like I know that this is all controlled and on a set and all that sort of stuff, but he's going to get very sick, for sure.
Yeah, because what happened is the same thing actually happened in Matrix Revolutions. They realized that the raindrops
during that final city full of Agent Smiths scene.
Yeah. In both movies, they realized that the rain droplets did not look clear on screen. So basically, all of these gaffers with like giant knives just started just cutting the metal pipes and just causing them to like have giant water droplets.
Oh.
Did anyone else want, when the police officer stops him and Singing in the Rain, to just start splashing in the puddles with him? Because Gene Kelly is like having so much fun, and then there's like this like police officer who looks so surly. It would be great if like the cop just joined in.
That doesn't happen, but I feel like that's a thing that I would have expected to happen in this movie with the kind of like sensibilities that it has.
They just hold hands and skip on down the road together.
Yeah, and I picture him with like a big burly like Oklahoma voice. Oh, I'm singing in the rain. Gene and I are gonna go yell at Debbie Reynolds, but we can't, so we're gonna yell at Donald O'Connor.
Oh my God.
I just picture them
Gene
like
Kelly just keeps making more and more friends until there's an entire crowd of people all yelling at Donald O'Connor.
I picture them because apparently Donald O'Connor had like his like 34th birthday on the set of this movie. I picture them being like, happy birthday to you, and you can just see Gene Kelly getting madder and madder, and right as he is about to blow out the candles, Gene Kelly just smashes his head into the cake and just yells, "Damn it, Debbie," and walks out.
Brutal.
Or even better, Gene Kelly jumps out of the cake in order to berate him some more.
God damn it, this is how you jump out of a cake. Where's confirmed Bachelor Dink Tinkler?
I said vanilla, not chocolate.
But boy, can he dance. Man, he treats people like shit, but look at those gams.
I said vanilla. This is buttercream. There's a difference.
Oh man, yeah, he seems like the type of guy who would be like really pissy over buttercream.
Underproved and overbaked.
I'm sorry, there's soggy bottoms on all of these.
This isn't scrummy at all.
It's a tacky sponge. You don't get any handshakes from me. Yeah, so the other thing that is amazing about this movie is the whole use of, they basically had no script.
Oh,
because they had
Really?
they had the script from when it was going to be a Western, like a movie about a Western actor. And then basically the screenplay itself was like 50 pages. And I guess Gene Kelly was like, okay, well, we'll just write out what the choreographed dance number will look like. So that's how they added another extra 50 pages to the script.
Huh.
The more you know.
I guess write about what you know.
Wow.
So, yeah, and that's what added, I guess, say what you will about him, but Gene Kelly was such a perfectionist that he knew on paper how long a dance sequence would take.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's an incredibly skilled prick.
Oh, yeah? Well, that incredibly skilled prick just went to an orphanage. And you know what he did there? He yelled at Debbie Reynolds in front of everyone.
Scott, I know you're fibbing. He yelled at Donald O'Connor in
At the
place of Debbie
orphanage.
Reynolds. He took Donald O'Connor with him to the orphanage so he could yell at him in front of all the children.
I mean, I'm not even making up the fact that he said, you can take it, that's why I'm yelling at you. It literally said, Donald O'Connor said in the documentary about this, like right before he died, yeah, Gene said to me, I'm yelling at you because you can take it and she can't. And both Debbie Reynolds and Rita Moreno were like, yep, that's what happened. That's what he
Wow.
said in front of everyone.
Yeah, on that note, that's something also that I very much like about this movie is that whether intentional or not, every single scene in the film has at least one person in it that you can very clearly tell is on the verge of a psychotic break.
Oh, yeah. Everyone is
Like in-
screaming with their eyes.
Especially the director character, who is really just the most wonderful ham in the entire film, I gotta say.
Mm-hmm.
He's like Sander Cohen played for laughs.
He reminded me a lot of Gary
That's
Beach.
a BioShock reference.
You and these video game references. I watch musicals. I don't play your little joystick blippity bloop games. But yeah, the director reminded me a lot of Gary Beach, who played the director in the Producers movie musical.
Oh yeah, I can see that too.
Oh, you'll do it. You know everyone's line. I see you mouthing along with everyone else. Damn it.
Yes.
And apparently art imitated life because Gene Kelly said that they could barely hear Debbie Reynolds when she was singing, probably because she was so scared. So they had to put a microphone on her, and she was so nervous because of Gene Kelly that you could hear her heart like pounding through the mic.
Oh my God.
Wow.
Poor woman.
And that's how she became gray overnight.
Right.
Oh boy. Definitely puts that whole scene played for laughs in a different light.
Oh, yeah. I do love how they get their revenge in the end. I think it's brilliant. But once again, it's Cosmo's idea.
Yeah, Cosmo really is the one just sort of pulling all the strings this whole time. He's the puppet master.
And can we talk about how amazing the Moses Supposes scene is?
I
Sure.
mean, you mean the sequence where they basically just abuse addiction coach for the entirety of it?
Yeah, but I would have just loved for them to be like, hey, we didn't even rehearse that, and turned out great. And I wanted Donald to be like, we rehearsed it, and Gene Kelly to turn around and be like, what the fuck did you just say to me?
Donald
Bitch
O'Connor
says what?
Donald O'Connor using that sequence to get out all of his frustrations about Gene Kelly. Gene Kelly just doing it because he's a dickhead.
Yeah. Is it just me, or is Donald O'Connor the real-life version of Jimmy Pesto Jr.? I just want to dance.
Aw.
I can see that.
Yeah. I think the best thing about this movie is just, one problem you usually have when we watch these musicals, Lilz, is how it doesn't seem natural when people are singing. And it seems too natural in this.
I think I kind of understand what you're saying. I feel like it's a lot easier to forgive like that sort of thing in this instance just because everything else happening around it is already so ridiculous that the musical numbers don't either seem not ridiculous or just sort of keeping in tune with, the manic ridiculousness that the rest of the movie is portraying.
Well, if you need me to prove my point more, I'll just take out this whiteboard right here. Hold on, I'll just roll it. And if we go to the board right here, you see here's reality, and here's a musical, and right here in the middle is Singin' in the Rain.
Heightened reality.
For some reason, we have a whiteboard in the middle of this room.
Yes, the middle of this room that we're all in.
Yes. We're totally not all in different locations on a Zoom call.
Nope, we're all recording in the exact same room. No
Very
masks.
cozy.
Yes.
No masks, and we just spent the time up to it licking the walls.
So the cake that I'm supposed to jump out of, is it going to be the cake from Addams Family Values where you accidentally bake me in it? That poor girl. Lurch, was she in here before you started baking?
Oh my God.
Don't hear Lil saying no, and that's what scares me the most.
I would never bake you into a cake on purpose, Scott.
Aw.
Oh, that's so sweet and terrifying
nice.
at the same time.
Yeah.
The on purpose is what makes it terrifying. I still love the fact that Donald O'Connor as Cosmo and Kathy kind of seem like the two characters who should be together. Am I crazy?
Yeah, no, I can kind of see that. They kind of complement each other a lot more than, the Don Lockwood character, who's just, even with his whole arc, still kind of ends being kind of a shallow Hollywood dickhead.
I do think, it does appear that they have chemistry on screen, even though we know what it was like in real life. Like, they do make sense together, but I was surprised. I feel like their relationship moved very quickly, like...
Oh, yes, for absolute
it is
sure.
a 1950s movie musical, but...
Everyone's a Disney princess.
I know, like, they basically went from meeting to working together to being in love, and I was like, oh, it's been one day,
Yeah, yeah.
Well, actually, it's been a month because he said he was looking for her for a month.
Oh,
right,
but they weren't together. He was looking for her.
Right.
Yeah, I would say the time. Yeah, it literally just goes from she still hates him to now they're just head over heels, just out of nowhere.
Now
Right,
they're
and I was
singing
like,
Good Morning, and she's sitting on his lap. Now she's sitting on Donald O'Connor's lap, and now Donald O'Connor's getting screamed at.
Yeah.
And she was very quick at the end of the film to be like, "I never want to see you again."
Mm-hmm.
I feel like when she
before the
turns
grand
around,
plan got revealed.
I feel like when she turns around and she has tears in her eyes, I don't feel like that's the character of Kathy Sultan.
Oh, right. Yeah. That's just actual Debbie having an actual breakdown.
Oh God, yeah.
Oh man, those tears look perfect.
Thinking
Check
about
the
it
gate.
now, why wouldn't they just bring Kathy in on this plan of theirs?
Mm-hmm.
I know, that's what drives me crazy.
That just seems kind of manipulative.
Like all they had to do to get her in on the plan is she wouldn't believe Don because Don's a dick. But if Cosmo just been like, "Yeah, Kathy, go to the mic," wink, wink.
Right.
And that's why her and Cosmo should be together.
Yeah, I mean, even if it was just that, without even having to explain it, I think she still would have picked up on, like, oh, Cosmo just winked at me. There's shenanigans afoot. Let's see how this goes.
Another thing that I read is when they were doing the Singin In The Rain the second time with Lena, and Gene Kelly and Donald O'Connor and the guy who played R.F. Simpson were pulling on the cable. Apparently it came crashing down, and apparently Donald O'Connor is like, oh no, I'm gonna get yelled at for this.
Oh no.
I just pictured the narrator from Arrested Development. He did.
It happens, and
he
Gene
did.
Kelly is just like, God damn it, Donald O'Connor and nobody else. Even though all three of them are pulling on it.
Damn it, Donald O'Connor. Know what? Right before you die, you're going to make a movie called Out to Sea. It's going to be you and Walter Matthau and Jack Lemmon. And for some reason, Brett Spiner. It's going to be your last on-screen credit. Oh, by the way, happy birthday.
Can I have some of my cake now?
No! Yeah, you know that would have happened on this set, that he's just getting screamed at and chewed out by Gene Kelly, and Gene Kelly just ends that with, oh, and happy birthday.
I got you a gift certificate.
To Aubon Pond.
I was trying to think of something era appropriate, but really, Aubon Pan is the best answer for that.
They didn't have a Panera gift card? They did, but I used it for myself. Thank you.
Panera hasn't been invented yet, stupid. But Aubon Pan has? Shut up!
Do you want to get into the tracks? Or is there anything else that you want to cover before we get into the tracks?
You know, I thought I did, but we can just cover it like once we're actually getting into the tracks.
Laura?
Yeah, to the tracks.
Alrighty. So I'm driving this. I'm drawing this completely from the IMDb page because on Wikipedia they do not list the songs in order. But the songs on here, I believe these were all written by, as you mentioned, these are previously existing songs written by Arthur Freed and Nacio Herb Brown. And our first song is...
Well, this first one was written by Hoffman and Goodhart.
Ah. Oh, I see.
Yeah.
I guess they just added extra lyrics and sort of stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
But it varies from song to song. But our first song, originating in 1932, Fit as a Fiddle, parentheses, Ready for Love. And Ready for Love.
Fit as a fiddle, ready for love. I can jump over the moon up above. Fit as a fiddle and ready for love. Haven't a worry, haven't a care. Feel like a feather that's floating on air. Fit as a fiddle and ready for love. Soon the church bells will be ringing, and a march with my in-law. How the church bells will be ringing, with a hang nonny nonny and a ha-cha-cha.
Yeah, so Fit as a Fiddle, this is when they're in vaudeville. Mm-hmm. And the thing that drove me crazy is how the hell do you use a... First off, my grandfather, who played the violin, hated it when people called it a fiddle. But how do you use a violin as a yo-yo?
Yeah, I don't think you can. Is that literally the only difference between violin and fiddle? Is that fiddle is just a more cornpone way to say violin?
Yeah.
It's how you play it. It's the
But
same instrument.
it's the same instrument, though.
Mm-hmm.
You're just fiddling around. Ba-doom-tsh.
I
You're
mean,
noodling.
they don't do that for other instruments.
No.
Right.
No.
Like you don't call a funk bassist a player of the slappity slaps.
Yeah.
Although maybe they should.
But we should, yes.
The slappity slaps. Oh man, my favorite member of Bare Naked Ladies is this guy who played the slapty slap. The upright slapty slap.
But yeah, I thought that was a really fun number, and I liked seeing that montage of all the different ways they performed it in those vaudeville circuits, and how much like it is very shticky, but it's still impressive, like everything that they're doing.
Yeah, it almost feels kind of pointless to say, like, the dance number in this was very good, because the dancing is great in pretty much all of the dance numbers.
Yeah.
Well, this was the one where Donald O'Connor was actually having the most fun, because they shot this before they started filming with Debbie Reynolds. So he wasn't getting yelled at yet.
Aw.
And you can tell on his face, too.
You know what, Donald? We're such good friends, and nothing is going to change that.
Not some actress
Nothing.
who is right out of, Juilliard and conservatory. You and me, kid.
Certainly not some 19-year-old gymnast.
Hi, I'm Debbie.
God
What
damn
the
it,
fuck did
Donald!
you say to me, Donald?
After that, we've got, from 1933, originally from the film Going Hollywood, Temptation. Which one was this one?
That was just an instrumental.
Yeah.
Ah, okay.
Maybe I'm wondering if that was the like underscore when they were arriving to the movie opening. Maybe.
It was the song that was playing when he's technically hitting on her in the car.
Oh, that's from the car scene. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, the IMDb list doesn't really specify which is cinematic score and which is musical numbers.
Yeah.
Though I guess I really probably could have gleaned that from the ones that have lyrics by Arthur Freed in them.
Oh, wait, Temptation was the music that was playing when he was doing the stunts for the movies.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
After that, we got All I Do Is Dream of You, originally from the 1934 film Sadie McKee. This one, I believe, was this was the Flappers in the Cake song.
All I do is dream of you the whole night through. With the dawn, I still go on dreaming of you. You're every thought, you're everything, you're every song I ever sing. Summer, winter, autumn, and spring. And were there more than 24 hours a day, they'd be spent in sweet content, dreaming away. Skies are gray, skies are blue.
Damn it, Donald, jump out of the cake the right way.
The bathing flappers.
All I do is dream of you.
It reminded me a lot of what were they called? The the show within the show in Guys and Dolls.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking of, Bushel and a Peck.
Yeah, Bushel and a Peck, exactly. I forget what they were called, but yeah.
Yeah.
I'm reading this
I
directly.
saw Lorelai Gilmore in that musical.
Oh wow.
I'm reading this directly from the Wikipedia article on Singin' in the Rain. The arrangement in Singin' in the Rain is an up-tempo, upbeat, flapper version of the song with full instrumentation. In contrast, the Sadie McKee version is slower tempo and appears routinely throughout the film as a love ballad accompanied by a solo ukulele.
That sounds like something that would play in a horror movie. All I do is dream of you.
I mean, the solo ukulele thing just gets me thinking of Eddie Vedder.
Yeah, what's not romantic about that? Twink a twink a twink. Yeah.
Or the solo ukulele just reminds me of Tiny Tim. All I do is dream of you all night.
After that, we got Make 'Em Laugh. This is not from a previous movie. This was one of the original ones.
Yeah, this was written for Donald O'Connor.
Make 'em laugh, Don't you know everyone wants to laugh? My dad said, be an actor, my son, but be a comical one. They'll be standing in lines for those old honky-tonk monkey shines. Or you could study Shakespeare and be quite elite, and you could charm the critics and have nothing.
Yep. Although technically this is a takeoff on Cole Porter's Be a Clown from another MGM Freed produced musical, The Pirate.
But I love the fact that we learned that he nearly passed out, or he did pass out because of 4 packs of Laramie cigarettes. Laramie cigarettes. He's on the floor, not breathing. Oh, poor Donald O'Connor. Do you know what would help him? If he smoked more Laramie cigarettes. Laramie cigarettes. It's the cigarette choice to yell at Donald O'Connor to.
Laramie cigarettes. We've got our tendrils in everything.
I love the fact that in this song, after a while, he just stops singing. He's like...
He's like, aren't I doing enough? I'm dancing, I'm flipping, I'm falling.
I'm getting screamed at every day.
Right, I'm smoking.
And once again, he looks like he's on the verge of a psychotic break.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, when I heard that he was smoking 4 packs a day, if you look at Donald O'Connor, he looks like a widow boy. Like, yes, I said widow boy. But he looks
He kind of
like...
does.
Yeah.
He looks like Howdy Doody.
Or Conan O'Brien.
Isn't Conan O'Brien like 6'2"?
Fine, red buttons there. He looks like, who's the guy on the cover of Mad Magazine? Alfred E. Newman.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
a core
little bit.
memory.
What's the next track?
After that, we've got I've Got a Feelin' You're Foolin', originally from Broadway Melody of 1936, parentheses 1935.
I got a feeling you're fooling. I got a feeling you're having fun. I get to go by when you were done.
Sung by Chorus. This is another one I don't really remember that vividly.
Oh, this is the montage, right?
Yeah. Yeah, this is when they're going through all of the... Now that the talkies are happening, this is when they're going through all of the musicals that they're filming at different studios.
Right, where he explains, he's like, this is what we should do. He's explaining
this is the one with the incredibly questionable green screen effects, right?
Yes, where it looks like a Jell-O commercial from the 80s.
And there's just a megaphone singer, which is always incredibly funny to me.
Oh, do you know what it looks like? It looks like...
What does it look like?
It looks like Groove is in the Heart. The thrills
I would not have made that connection until this very moment.
Am I wrong?
I mean, can we still keep the megaphone singers, though?
That's what makes it Groove is in the Heart.
Groove is in the heart.
Groove is
in the heart.
The thrills that you chill. What's next?
After that, we got The Wedding of the Painted Doll, originally from The Broadway Melody, parentheses 1929.
The holiday today, the wedding of the painted doll. It's a jolly day.
That is another one of the montage.
Oh, yeah.
And is there
that part of the same
one?
montage, or is this a different one?
Yeah, because it goes through 3 of them before we get to Beautiful Girls.
Oh, then that probably means the next one is also part of the same montage. Should I, originally from Lord Byron of Broadway.
I feel exactly how I feel. Should I confess?
Yes.
Sung by Wilson Wood, uncredited, so maybe that's the megaphone singer man.
Yeah, probably.
Oh.
Well, we learn.
I think the next one is our buddy Dink Tinkler, confirmed Bachelor Dink Tinkler.
Yep, the ever-eccentric Dink Tinkler performing Beautiful Girl from 1933, originally from Stage Mother.
Beautiful girl, you're a lovely picture, beautiful girl. You're a gorgeous mixture of all that lies under the big blue sky. My heart cries, beautiful girl. You're a dazzling eyeful, beautiful girl. I could never trifle if I had you. You'd be my dream come true.
Beautiful girl, going out to the club with a friend of mine, lives in my apartment. Don't ask questions, you beautiful girls.
I don't know why that reminds me so much of those like Miss America contests, where it's like, there she goes, Miss America.
I mean, I think what really drives that facet of it home was just like how in the middle they're just like, look what that one's wearing.
Yeah.
Oh, that one's going to the beach. That one is going to. That one is a night at the opera.
That one's going to Planet Fitness.
That one is going to become the Black Dahlia.
That one is going to Zumba because Planet Fitness didn't work out.
I
don't know why my voice imitating him sounds incredibly drunk.
I don't know. But it reminded
Look
me
at all
of...
the women up there. That one wants to. That one's on a razor scooter. That
Foster
hasn't been invented
Brooks.
yet.
Roast vaudevillian
Anyway.
comedian Foster Brooks. What are you doing here? But what it
I don't know who that is.
what it reminded me of is from SNL with the Lawrence Welk Orchestra. And I'm Donice.
Oh my gosh, I love those so much.
Did it remind you of that?
Yeah.
I mean, it's reminding me of that now.
It reminded me.
Right.
It especially reminded me the one of Will Ferrell when Will Ferrell did it because he looked exactly like that guy.
Oh, okay.
Confirmed Bachelor Dink Tinkler.
Actually, what I'm thinking of now, I remember when like Chris Kattan used to be on SNL, he had this recurring bit where he was just this really slimy lounge singer, and whoever was the guest would be like another lounge singer, just sort of as a guest.
So it was just Chris Kattan being Chris Kattan.
Sure. But like at the end of one, him and I think it was Christopher Walken started doing a performance of Beautiful Girl, and like I think it was Maya Rudolph, Rachel Dratch, Tina Fey, and Amy Poehler all came out as waitresses doing the most bored-looking dance that I've ever seen.
I'm shocked that Gene Kelly let this guy. His name isn't confirmed Bachelor Dink Tinkler. His real name
Says
is
here
Jimmy.
it's sung by Jimmy Thompson.
I'm shocked that he let this guy have a prominent song, which I actually think it's one of the better songs in the musical, and he let this guy basically steal the movie for like a good 3 to 4 minutes. Someone got yelled at that day. God damn it, what the hell was I thinking, Donald O'Connor? You and your heel tap shoes and your low-cut dresses that make you look like Debbie Reynolds.
Don't you think for 1 second I'm not going to yell at you for this?
Oh my god, I just realized who Donald O'Connor is. He's technically the real-life version of Mr. Smithers.
Or Kiff.
The jackass is yelling at me again.
After that, we got You Were Meant for Me, originally from The Broadway Melody, 1929, otherwise known as the one where Gene Kelly all of a sudden falls in love with Debbie Reynolds after she hated him for a second.
You were meant for me, and I was meant for you. Nature patterned you, and when she was done, you were all the sweet things
Yeah, it doesn't look like a total murder scene.
I
What?
know how the set works. Let's snog.
Is this the duet where they're on the empty soundstage
Yeah,
Yep.
with the ladder? Okay.
where it looks like he's gonna kill her.
It had some like Romeo and Juliet vibes, I thought, with her being up on the ladder, like the balcony kind of.
Was she up there on purpose, or was she trying to run away?
Yeah, she was hoping a TD would lift her up into the grid.
God, why couldn't I be one of those people who got eaten by the MGM lion?
Yeah, I mean, the more we talk about it, it does sort of sound more and more like the prelude to a murder.
I was meant for you. No, you weren't. Come back here, Debbie Reynolds, or Donald O'Connor's gonna get it.
Do you like Huey Lewis and the news?
I think my favorite song is next.
Is your favorite song Moses Supposes?
It is.
Because that's the next song.
I love
And that
Moses
is-
Supposes.
That is quite a good number.
Hoop-de-doo-de-doo. Moses supposes his toes are roses, but Moses supposes erroneously. For Moses, he knows his toes aren't roses, as Moses supposes his toes to be. Moses supposes his toes are roses, but Moses supposes erroneously. For Moses knows his toes are roses, but Moses supposes his toes to be.
I also love Are either of you fans of Crazy Ex-Girlfriend?
Oh yes.
I have not seen it.
They use Moses Supposes for tap that ass all over the...
Yeah.
Yeah.
In the doorway, the hallway, on every stair, we tap that ass all over this house.
Absolutely.
Yes.
And
I
as I
love this
mentioned,
number.
there's just something so uniquely entertaining about them just ruining the day of that diction coach who did nothing to deserve everything that they did to him.
I don't care, I'm on retainer.
Just leaves with all the crap they just stuck on him, just going like, ugh, Mondays.
You and me both, Garfield. Anyone have some lasagna?
And that man grew up to be Jim Davis.
So why
Not sure how that works.
why is this one your favorite, Scott?
I love the fact that it's just so goofy, and also it's one of the only songs that was actually written for the movie. This and Make 'Em Laugh were written for this movie. And it's just, apparently it was the only time they were getting along on the set. They improvised, like, the day of, they improvised the actual dance number. Apparently they improvised that within an hour.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Was this another one that they were having fun because Debbie Reynolds hadn't shown up yet?
I'm not sure.
Well, she
'Cause
wasn't
now-
in
'cause
this
now-
number. Right?
Well, I mean, just now the fact that every time I see them enjoying themselves just seems suspect to me now.
Yeah. I just picture Donald O'Connor being like, "Hey, isn't it great that Debbie's not here? What the fuck did you just say? Why would you say that name? Why would you say that name, Donald O'Connor?"
After that, we got Good Morning, originally from Babes in Arms.
Good morning.
Good morning.
We've talked the whole night through.
Good morning.
Good morning to you. Good morning. Good morning. It's great to stay up late. Good morning. Good morning to you.
I do
I thought
love
this-
this one.
I thought this was really cute, but also like a pretty epic number. I mean, it lasted quite a while, and they changed the location and had all
Yeah.
these props and costumes. It was very involved.
it caused all of Debbie Reynolds' blood vessels in her feet to burst.
Right.
Like, when you hear stories about people like bleeding out into their shoes, this is what they're talking about. But yeah, I love the fact that Donald O'Connor in this realizes with this song, hey, this is how we can trick the studio into letting you sing for Lena. Look at my mouth. Watch me sing. Good morning. See? Watch my mouth.
Right.
Sure. Where else am I supposed to look?
So basically, I'm moving my lips, but syncing it to what you're doing it. My lips are synced to what you're doing. Lip
I'm gonna call
syncing. I'm going to call it song taking.
I was going to call it talk songing.
I think I like that better.
Perfect.
After that, the titular track, Singin' in the Rain, originally from the Hollywood Review of 1929. The one where Gene Kelly gets sick.
I'm singing in the rain, just singing in the rain. What a glorious feeling, I'm happy again. I'm laughing at clouds so dark up above, and the sun's in my heart, and I'm ready for love.
Do you think that everyone on the set of this movie, when they're like, Gene is sick, do you think Debbie Reynolds was in a corner like, God, I hope he dies?
I wonder if he was more or less mean when he was sick.
I bet he was more mean.
No.
Do you think he would have had the energy to keep up that level of meanness, though?
I think it would be like Sideshow Mel getting the wrong sandwich. He's like, Donald, you come to the bathroom while I'm having diarrhea. I'm going to yell at you some more.
Oh, God.
After that, we got Would You, originally from the film San Francisco, sung by Betty Noyes, uncredited, dubbing for Debbie Reynolds.
Would you, he tells her of her charms. Would you, they met as you and I, and they were only friends.
Oh,
or
yeah.
Noyes. I'm not really sure how you pronounce the last name.
Noyes. It's Betty Noyes. Yeah, because apparently Debbie was crying so much that she threw out her voice.
Oh.
Oh, is that what it was? I just assumed, like, Debbie's singing voice didn't sound like, fancy enough or something like that. But that
no, it did.
That
she
is
was crying so much.
Yeah, that's a much worse thing.
That's sad.
Yeah.
But
this one was fine, I guess.
I thought it was it's like a sweet number. It feels like a very genuine number in the midst of, so many big showy numbers.
Yeah. I mean, it's fine.
Sure.
Whatever.
Okay.
After that, we got The Acid Trip, Broadway Rhythm Ballet, originally from the Broadway Melody 1929.
Broadway rhythm, it's got me. Everybody dance.
Gotta dance.
So is this the Sid Charisse song then?
Yes, this is the Sid Charisse Acid Dream Murder Ballet.
Yeah, that's the progressive rock opera of the piece.
Yeah,
that's this movie's Tarkus.
Yeah, this one is weird. This is interesting because it lasts for like almost 15 minutes.
It did.
Yeah.
I gotta say, as someone who really likes musicals, it felt very long to me. And I was like, what is happening? Am I... like, I'm not sure what that was supposed to symbolize, if there was a metaphor.
I mean,
I think they
I
just
would
needed to kill 20 minutes.
I mean, at first glance, it seems like there's some kind of metaphor, or like maybe it's a parallel to something. But yeah, you're probably right. It's probably just filler.
Yeah.
Like, I thought at first maybe it was like some kind of parallel to, like, you know, Gene Kelly's whole life sort of thing, and that was just sort of added as like kind of a semi-biographical thing.
It's supposed to be.
Oh.
It's supposed to be, but it took me...
Gene Kelly sure made a lot of
years.
people with coins angry then.
Yeah.
Anyway. After that, we got Singin' in the Rain in A flat, originally from the Hollywood Review of 1929. This is the one where Jean Hagen's character is found out.
I'm singing in the rain, just singing in the rain. What a glorious feeling, I'm happy again.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
It's incredibly funny that they're just singing along and then just start pulling the thing down just like with the song.
Gene, we broke the rope.
What do you mean we, Donald?
God damn it, why did I say anything?
Millard Mitchell is just like, so can I go?
Yeah. We'll call
I
you
could
in
never
5.
I could never yell at you, Millard Mitchell. You're my favorite.
I mean...
Why?
Because you're gonna die soon.
What? Who told you? Why can't you ever be tender? Why can't you ever be as tender as you are with Millard Mitchell with me, Gene? Shut up, Donald.
Okay. It's my fault I opened my mouth. I can take it. Yeah, I mean, this one is like, it's not as iconic as the other Singin' in the Rain. I mean, they sing Singin' in the Rain 3 times. They open the movie with it, then they do it again, the more iconic one. You know, the one that Tom Holland ripped off for Lip Sync Battle.
Right.
Oh, right.
I mean, this one technically isn't really even a number because it's just sort of there to... It's more like just sort of a plot happenstance, really.
Yeah, but I do love Jean Hagen's little hands when she's like...
Yeah.
Yeah.
The reprise. I liked seeing Kathy get her, you know, her due, like her credit. That was nice.
I did too, but again, they should have brought her in on the plan.
Yeah, definitely.
Saved her a lot of emotional distress.
Yes.
This is how Don Lockwood controls people. He's like a cult leader.
Mm-hmm.
He breaks them down and then he builds them up the way he wants.
Woof.
So if there was you're positing the sequel to this would be him building his Jared Leto compound.
I was thinking David Koresh in Waco, but don't you just want to see Gene Kelly tap dancing with an electric guitar in his hand?
Donald O'Connor ultimately pushes the button to fire the tanks into his compound. That's his character arc.
So what's the next track?
The next and final track is "You Are My Lucky Star," originally
by
from
Madonna.
Starlight, starlight, the star I see tonight, starlight.
I forgot she was
Scott.
in Singin' in the Rain.
Yes, Scott, by Madonna. By 1980s artist Madonna, this song from 1935 in this movie from 1954.
She is so timeless.
You're spot on, Scott.
You are my lucky star. I saw you from afar.
I cannot stress enough how spot on you are. If there was an encyclopedia definition of hitting the nail on the head... Okay, I'll stop.
Yeah. This is such a weird song to end the movie on.
Is this when they're singing in front of the billboard? I think it is.
I mean,
they don't really sing in front of the billboard. Like, he just starts singing to just sort of be like, "No, don't cry. You're the star after all." And then she just joins in.
Yeah.
Sung by Gene Kelly, uncredited, Debbie Reynolds, uncredited, and off-screen chorus.
Oh, were you watching this on DVD or did you stream
No,
it?
I was watching it on Vudu.
I was talking to Laura.
Oh. Whoops.
Oh, I watched it through, I think Amazon Prime.
Because they have the alternate version of Lucky Star, which is in front. You watched the alternate version?
I think so. Yeah, it ends with them singing this in front of a billboard, which is advertising the show Singin' in the Rain that they are doing together, which is like yet another, show within a show within a show within a show.
The layers of the onion continue with a Disney-ass chorus.
This song is just a weird song to end the movie on.
I believe my friend Jim Schultz would say that you could totally put this in a Beauty and the Beast.
Beauty and... Oh my God, she really is Beauty and the Beast. She's Beauty and he definitely is a beast.
Yeah.
And he if you put a tiny ponytail on the back of him, he'll look like Gaston.
Yeah, except there's no arc where he learns not to be an asshole, though.
Yeah. So we've come to the end of this musical. Any final takes? Final thoughts?
Do you both think it's the greatest movie ever made?
I think it's one of my favorite films of all time.
Okay.
But I'm a sucker for movies that are being made about movies.
Mm.
And I think that Donald O'Connor gives like one of the greatest performances. Him and Jean Hagen give like the two greatest performances in comedy history.
Fair.
Lilz, nothing?
I'm just waiting for us to get to our ratings.
Okay, so we have a rating system on this podcast. If it's a good movie musical, it's hell of a musical. If it's a bad movie musical, it's hell is a musical. And if it's Matt, it's Purgatory Pizza Razzmatazz Factory. So
don't forget
Laura,
that one.
That's the sponsor. Laura, what do you give this?
I give it a hell of a musical. It's not my favorite musical of all time, but I think it's still impressive to this day, and there's a lot to love.
Lilz?
I also give this a hell of a musical. It's just very good. There are parts of it that are kind of iffy by today's standards, but, on the whole, it's very good.
What if I was just like, this is hell as a musical? No. This is hell of a musical. 3 hell of a musicals.
Wow, that is quite a twist, Scott. 2 hell of a musical, 1 hell is a musical from Scott. So that's the end of the podcast.
No, it's not. Stop it. No, this is hell of a musical. I think that before I found out that he was a dick, I always loved Gene Kelly in this. Donald O'Connor's amazing. Debbie Reynolds is adorable. For some reason, Jean Hagen is incredibly, funny. She's, the perfect combination of funny, and she's very, beautiful and insane, and it's like, Jesus Christ, how is she so talented? Also, she's a Mensa scholar. We didn't even talk about that.
Really?
Oh, I didn't know that.
Wow.
Yeah, she has, an IQ of, 146.
Damn.
That's pretty amazing.
Yeah, she's a genius.
Gene can get it.
Yeah. Gene from Bob's Burgers? This is me now. So, Laura, do you want to promote anything?
Oh, that I'm working on?
Yeah, anything that you want to get out there.
Oh, well, the most consistent work that I do is for dictionary.com. usually a couple times a month, I do the Word of the Day podcast, which is really fun, and other isolated projects for them. And then, I don't know, I have some print and TV things that will be out soon, which I guess I can't really talk about, but
Yeah, that's fine.
but yeah, thanks for having me.
Lilz, what do you got going on?
Since the airing of this, since the airing of our last episode, Jukebox Zeros is officially back. We started doing new episodes again, so check that out. But also check out Scott's other podcast, Writer's Bagel Basket, and the little limited mini-series that he did with our good friend Christopher Brown, When Scary Met Stabby, which is really one of the finer podcast titles I've ever heard.
Yeah.
And check out the other
was a
Zero
weird
Science
one.
podcasts.
That was a weird way of how we got that. I was looking through like rom-com titles. I was trying to do a horror podcast based on a rom-com title, and I came across When Harry Met Sally.
And then the pieces just all fell into place.
Yep. So what are we doing next?
Next, we're doing my favorite film of all time.
Sound of Music.
Frank. I thought we were...
I'm joking. No, we scrapped Sound of Music, remember? We're doing Frank.
Yes, my favorite film of all time. Musical or otherwise.
Yeah. So, Laura, thanks so much for doing this.
Oh, sure. It was really fun. Thank you.
And remember, if you're having a bad day, just remember, it could be a lot worse. You could be Donald O'Connor.
If Elon Musk played Wonderwall, would he be Elon Busk?
With Lilz and Scott.
Zero cents.